All right, well, Southwest Valley opens the season with a 34-31 win over Red Oak. Here with a couple of big contributors tonight, Evan Timmerman and Wyatt Mendenhullen. Guys, obviously a hot, humid game tonight. Comes down to the wire there. Just give us your thoughts and maybe takeaways here from this one.
Yeah, well, in practice, all week it was hot, but Coach does do gassers at the end of practice, and it showed on here. I mean, the guys were saying at the end of the game, thank you, Coach, for the gassers, because honestly, without them, we probably would have lost the game, because, it's just you're digging in, you're dogging out in this heat, and without those gassers, you would have, just not given 100% effort.
Yeah, once again with that conditioning, they were dead almost every other play, and we just had more drive at the end of the game, and we're able to hustle and get those plays at the end of the game.
Certainly, obviously, having a big night for you offensively, 4 touchdowns, total touchdowns for you. A few of those coming on the ground tonight. Just speak about your overall performance here this evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, besides that one interception, I think it was pretty good. A couple incompletions, but we'll go back in practice, see what I did wrong, and work on it in practice. And again, practice makes improvement, not perfection. And I just want to improve every single game in practice and just get better and better. And when it comes to playoff, I'll be 130%.
And obviously, a team that kind of become pretty known for the run. You guys had a pretty solid balanced attack there in that first half. Maybe can I talk about, maybe throwing a little bit more tonight and how you kind of felt about that side of it here this evening?
Yeah, I mean, of course, last year we weren't that big of a throwing team. We were more running team, but since we have more variety, I feel like it's better for a team because you can kind of spread it out and then maybe get a little sneaky pass inside, and then get 50 yards or a touchdown even from it. And of course, guys on defense aren't expecting that, so just a variety. It's like tennis, if you have a variety, like you do a forehand to his backhand and go to the net and they're not expecting it, you're going to win that point. And just like in football, you gotta correlate with football. And if you're passed all the time, they're not expecting to run, so you just go up the gut and run it and touchdown, 50 yards or first down, whatever.
Yeah, obviously, Wyatt, haven't hooked up for that first score of the game through the air. Just kind of talk about good at you guys be able to form here early on this season as a throw and catcher.
Yeah, we were seeing that they were kind of playing shallow and everything, and Evan has an arm, and we've been throwing a lot of that in practice. So I just told him to hit me over the top, and Coach called it, and it worked out.
So also a big night on the defensive side for you, 3 picks tonight, including that pick 6 there. Just kind of talk about your performance there in the backfield there tonight.
Yeah, we focused a lot on not getting beat deep and everything, and there's a couple overthrows, and I was able to make the play, and there was that tip that I think Evan had that I was able to get that pick off of, but a lot of those big guys up front putting that pressure on that QB really helped that too.
I would say, especially in that second half, just kind of speak to the overall defensive effort that you guys had there, and especially late in that second half.
Yeah, we allowed a lot of big plays, but almost every other play, like I said, we were winning, and they were gassed, and we just had to stay guns a-going, and we did.
Sure, obviously a win like this, a close one to start off your season, but kind of how does this kind of help you guys, kind of build that ability to push through some adversity, I should say, here early in this season?
Yeah, I mean, it gives us a lot of confidence to go through the season. Like, we're 1-0, and if we were 0-1, that makes a huge difference because then coach is not happy about it, and then we have to run more, and we all get mad at each other, and especially in the heat, we get mad at each other. But I just got to say, I'm going to thank the Lord and thank my linemen, thank my wide receivers, thank everybody on the team, and importantly, the linemen, because, I got to talk about them. Because they're the ones who put it to play when I make touchdowns and make a long run.
So congrats on the win tonight, guys.
Thank you very much.
Once again, 34-31 to win tonight here for Southwest Valley over Red Oak. You're now with head coach Keegan Longaba. And coach, obviously hot, he won tonight, came down to the wire there a little bit. Just kind of your thoughts and maybe your takeaways here from this one.
Well, we told the guys a long time ago that it was going to be conditioned. I mean, we knew it was going to be hot the first game. It always is hot the first couple of weeks. And we've been harping on these guys ever since camp started that conditioning is where we're going to be key at. We're going to have enough in the tank in the fourth quarter. We wanted to have more than our opponents. And I think for what it turned out to be in tonight, I think that's what happened.
Certainly, and on the offensive side, you guys mix things up a little bit there in that first half. You got down to a couple of possessions. Just kind of what was the message to you guys there, obviously, as you guys were trying to claw back there in that one a little bit there early?
Early, we wanted to try a few new things. Like I said, we wanted to try to throw the ball, but we just had some miscommunication between myself and Evan, and I fully take responsibility for that. I mean, there was a lot of those negative plays, especially the first play of the game. There was miscommunication. We went to the wrong side, but that's on me. We have to have better communication. We got to go back to the drawing board and figure out a different way to call those plays out. And, I mean, we got into halftime, and we made sure to tell our guys that it's not even close to being over. And our guys were sitting in there and they looked hungry. They looked hungry for the second half. They knew that they were in for a ball game then. And I think that's exactly what we're going to be known for is we're going to get into trenches and we're going to try to claw our way out.
Certainly, and obviously, kid that's become a pretty big name here the past couple of years. Evan Timmerman, he stepped up big tonight, particularly in that the second half, I should say. The legs come alive a little bit. Just kind of speak about his performance here this evening.
Like I've said before, and I told you guys, Evan is a phenomenal leader. He's a smart kid on and off the field, and Evan's going to run the ball hard. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's one of those kids, though, that he's going to fight through everything that hurts him. He's going to fight through it until it actually comes out. So, I mean, he's one of those kids you just can't coach that kind of toughness and that football smarts. He's had plenty of experience, and he's a kid that I am so thankful to have on this field as my first year. And not even just him, but you look at that offensive and defensive line. There's a lot of experience coming back. And, I mean, in the linebackers, backfield, it's just these guys know how to play football, and they're making my life easier.
So kind of talk about the offensive line, obviously creating some holes there late in that one. Just kind of who are some of the guys that have been standing up for you particularly in the trenches on the offensive side?
Man, it starts with all five of them. You got Devin Greenwald, Tate Hafner, Dylan Stormer, Dylan Inman, and Theron Mullen. Theron kind of got bummed up a couple weeks ago, and he was having a little bit of injury problems tonight. But it goes with all five of them. Those guys, they know when they need to get the job done. We're just trying to get them to be to the point where that's got to happen every single play.
And on the defensive side, Wyatt Mendenhall had a big night, 3 picks for him, including a pick 6 there early in that second half. I mean, just kind of speak what he brought, obviously stepping up into that starting cornerback role this year. Just what he kind of brought to the field for you guys tonight.
Wyatt's a heck of an athlete. I mean, he's one of those guys who you can probably put about anywhere. I mean, he's a little small for the line, but he's still going to give you 100%. He's fast, and he's got a knack for that football. Defensively, we knew he was going to be good, but we didn't know he was going to pull that out of his hat tonight. That was a pretty sweet little thing he did tonight, especially with that pick 6, just being as versatile as he can be. And then you throw him on the offensive side, and he's a weapon for us on the outside as well. He's also a kid that we know we can throw in the backfield if we need. He's just one of those guys that he can play anywhere for us, and those are the kind of players that you love to have.
All right, I mean, kind of how big was that pick 6? Obviously, you come out early there in that second half with that. I mean, momentum-wise, how big was that for you guys?
It was huge. Huge. We talked about that there was going to be a momentum shift, and it could have gone their way, it could have been our way, and we prepared them for both ways. I mean, we just got to know that the game's not over. Unfortunately, I think it was a very ensuing play that Red Oak had the ball. I think they ran for that touchdown. It was a huge momentum shift for us, and that was something that we truly needed. We talked about, they had about 6 or 7 plays that we just had. I mean, everybody brain farted on those plays, and that's when they ended up going for a long touchdown there. They're very well coached. We expected them to come out and play tough football because they're very well coached, and Coach Nordine he's been doing a phenomenal job with them, and they're going to be a tough football team, I think, not just this year, but for years to come.
Certainly, obviously getting a win like this, you guys grind this out, a close one, a lot of drama there at the end. I mean, how big is this for you guys as you move forward through this season?
We always, as coaches, we want to have a blowout win. Just every coach wants that. But I mean, these games, they're the most fun ones to coach in. I mean, I talked with Coach Nordine, and he said the same thing. It was a fun one to coach in. The officials love being a part of it. The crowd, everybody's so amped up and into it. And I think that's just when we come out on top. That gives us that much more momentum going into next week, and not just for next week, but weeks to come. That we know that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, that we can pull out on the positive side.
Congrats on the win, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.